And you learned from that what?
Well, I learned from that first of all, if you are going to be a good steward of the taxpayer's dollar, to hire someone else to be responsible for your good stewardship is not a very good idea. And I credit Admiral Allen today with making the investment over the course of actually several years to rebuild that acquisition capability in the organization that they can do it all for themselves now. And so you're seeing pieces of this massive deepwater modernization project now actually being as pieces dealt to the private sector to get accomplished, but with oversight provided directly from the Coast Guard shop.
Share with us one of your heroes and why you hold that person up as a hero.
When I became aware that it was a smart thing to even be thinking about these kind of things, I had stumbled across a leadership model that Eisenhower, the President Eisenhower, General Eisenhower, had used along the way. And it was attractive to me because it was simple on one hand and extraordinarily powerful on the other. And so I have used Eisenhower's quiet demeanor, his calm focus on what was necessary to be done, his extraordinary diplomatic skills to keep the Montgomerys of the world and the Pattons of the world in hand, so to speak, in the European theater. I had an occasion to visit Algeria here several months ago, and in the St. George Hotel in Algeria, in the middle of the so-called British enclave there, they have sort of frozen in time the time when Eisenhower was there planning the southern European invasion, not D-Day in Normandy, which we all understand and ascribe his brilliance to. But they've frozen in time the rooms they were meeting in and the hotel rooms they stayed in for almost a year, he and his staff, when they were working on the southern invasion. And so Eisenhower has just come to me time and time again through my life as an example of a person who is not about shining the light on himself, but is rather a person dedicated to task and dedicated to the well-being of his country, coming from the very common roots that he came from in Kansas and finding his way to West Point, frustrated in the aftermath of his West Point time that he never got into World War I as a warrior, felt that his career was dashed at that point, and yet methodically emerges by way of Marshall and others who recognize the brilliance of the guy to lead not only our forces, our military forces, but our country and Columbia University and all those wonderful opportunities he had afterwards. So I never met Dwight Eisenhower, but I have read probably 8 biographies of Dwight Eisenhower, and the synthesis associated with that keeps, for me, this simple little leadership model in place. And it's all about, he said, 3 things. It's about native ability, which represents a capacity. It's about opportunity, which is pretty serendipitous. You may get a chance to influence that or you may not. And it's about something he called the knowledge of your craft. And his fundamental notion was if you spend time becoming very, very good at what you want to be in terms of the knowledge of your craft, should your opportunity come around, you will be able to perform to this capacity represented by your native ability. My 3 words for that is preparation equals performance. And I've tried to live by that for probably 30 years.
I might say indeed you have, and I want to thank you for sitting down with us here at AFCEA, and I want to particularly thank you for your 45 years of service to the American people.
Yeah, Fred, my pleasure. It's great working with AFCEA and other folks who I know for a fact have the well-being of our country at heart, and that's always refreshing to be part of that.
Well, thank you, Admiral Loy, for being with us, and thank you particularly for your 45 years of service to the American people. And thank you for watching. I'm Fred Francis for AFCEA and Signal Magazine.